Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Ask an LIA. Today, ang topic natin ay working holiday visas. And I know super popular ito na klase ng visa and marami kayong tanong about it. It's actually one of the few visas we don't process here at Koru, and that's because sobrang agawan talaga ng slots. Hindi namin mag-guarantee na may kukuha namin kayo ng slot. But because you're better off applying independently, we want to make sure na prepared kayo in case gusto nyo siyang applyan. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. Pag-usapan natin ano ba talaga yung working holiday visa, para kanino talaga to suited, ano yung requirements, and ano yung process. We also got some submissions of questions, or like yung mga FAQ natin. So sagutin din natin yon today. Alright, so ano ba yung working holiday visa? Ang working holiday visa, specifically, pinag-uusapan natin yung for Filipinos ha. It's a type of visa na pwede kang mag-work habang nagbabakasyon ka. So, kung familiar kayo dun sa concept na yung mga sa movies, di ba, yung nagba-backpack sa Europe, tas makikiwork muna sila sa cafe, ganun yung intention talaga ng working holiday visa. Pero in practice, what we've noticed is medyo ginagawa siyang parang de facto or like parang ginagawa siyang job search visa. So, okay din naman yun. There are some limitations yung working holiday visa kung yun yung plano nyo. So, we'll talk about that in a bit. Maya-maya ng konti. But, in general, if you're the type of person na medyo flexible yung schedule mo, bata-bata pa kayo kasi meron siyang age limit, and meron kayong tertiary qualification, para sa inyo yung ganitong klaseng visa. Okay, so ano ba yung mga core requirements ng isang working holiday visa? First is dapat makakuha kayo ng slot. So yung slot, dyan yung pinakamalaking challenge kasi 100 lang yan kada taon. There are some years na parang medyo swinerte tayo na nagdagdag yung immigration, but in general, 100 lang talaga yan every year. Now, if you are applying under yung Philippines na working holiday scheme, the first thing is kailangan Filipino citizen kayo and meron kayong valid passport. So of course, kung wala kayong passport, hindi kayo makaka-apply, hindi rin kayo makaka-travel. So very important yun. Pangalawa is yung age range. Dapat kayo ay nasa pagitan ng 18 and 30 years old. Pag lagpas na kayo ng 30, hindi na po kayo pwede sa application, sa visa type na ito. The next one is, dapat hindi pa kayo nagagranta ng working holiday visa before. So, kung kunwari, nakagamit na kayo a few years ago, or nabigyan kayo pero hindi nyo nagamit, hindi na kayo pwede mabigyan ulit. Alright. Now, yung next na requirement is yung adequate funds. Ang fund na requirement dito is 4,200 NZD. So, roughly, nasa mga 150,000 pesos yun. These funds need to be available to you. So, kung kunwari naka-bank account siya, dapat nasa pangalan niya yung account. You also need to agree to hold insurance, medical and comprehensive hospitalization insurance. So, kunwari magkasakit kayo, dahil hindi pa kayo covered ng public healthcare system on a working holiday visa, dapat meron kayong insurance that will cover that. The other requirement for yung working holiday visa is yung tertiary qualification. Tapos yung qualification na yun, kailangan na grant siya after you taking 3 years of university study. And finally, there's functional English. So dapat either ma-prove nyo na yung qualification ninyo, na-earn nyo siya through an institution na English yung medium of instruction, or mag-take kayo ng English proficiency test, katulad ng IELTS or ng PTE. So, meron bang limits tong visa na to? Kasi parang sobrang, di ba, parang golden ticket na open work visa siya, tapos so hindi mo kailangan ng job offer, and then pwede ka mag-work, pwede ka magbakasyon. So, hindi rin siya perfect, or hindi naman siya parang unrestricted yung visa na to. Ang particular na hindi mo magagawa on this visa is hindi ka pwede mag-take ng permanent employment. So, pwede ka mag-work full-time, pero hindi permanent. Bakit ganun? Kasi yung purpose ng visa na to is really to facilitate a holiday, diba? So, kung ikaw, yung type ng person na, kunwari, backpacker ka or nagtutour ka ng New Zealand over a year, hindi naman talaga dapat permanent yung employment mo na naglalagi ka sa isang place. So, parang extension ng concept na yun is may limitation siya na hindi ka pwede mag-work sa employer ng higit sa 3 months. So, in total yun so hindi ka pwedeng kunwari mag 3 months, mag-work sa iba, tapos bumalik dun sa first employer. So in total, hindi ka dapat nag-work sa kahit sinong iisang employer ng more than 3 months. Finally, the visa also does allow study, pero may limits din yun. Kasi kung yung primary purpose is mag-aral, so if you're going to do a longer program, dapat naka-student visa ka. So this one, it allows you some flexibility sa study, but in total, you can only study up to 6 months on this type of visa. Okay, so let's go into yung practical part, no? Kailan ba mag-open yung working holiday visa? So for 2024, yung date niya is March 12. So mark niyo yung calendars niyo, March 12 at 10 a.m. NZT. So, remember, meron tayong time difference kung kayo nasa Philippines or if you guys are in the Middle East. Remember, na New Zealand time yung kinakount dito. What is the process like? So, medyo naiiba yung working holiday visa compared sa ibang klaseng online applications na iba-ibang klase for New Zealand. Kasi normally, you would have to fill out yung form and then i-upload nyo na yung requirements bago nyo mai-submit yung application. So, for the working holiday scheme, basically, you log on and yung form, fill upan nyo. Pero at that point, hindi pa kayo required magpasa ng documents ninyo. You do need to pay the fee kasi kung hindi ka dumating sa stage na magbabayad ka ng fee, it means na hindi kayo nakakuha ng slot. Pero if kunwari tuloy na yung payment nyo, may confidence na dapat kayo na meron kayong slot out of yung 100 na available that year. So when you get a slot, you're going to get comms from immigration na sasabihin niya kung ano yung requirements na kailangan mo ipasa at how much time you have para ipasa siya. So generally, nasa mga 2 weeks yun. So you need to make sure na yung documents nyo, napasa nyo na siya by the time na dumating yung deadline ni immigration. Alright. So, ano ba yung advice namin? Or like, what are our top tips para dito sa mga applications na ganito? So, again, ang pinakamalaking challenge, in my opinion, dito sa working holiday scheme, is getting yung slot. Kasi sobrang bilis niya maubos. Expect nyo na when the scheme opens, within the first 5 minutes, ubos na talaga siya. So, how do you optimize yung chances mo na magkaroon ka nun, no? I think maybe the most basic advice is sana okay yung internet connection ninyo. So, kung hindi stable yung internet connection nyo, or hindi mabilis yung internet connection nyo, may disadvantage na talaga kayo. Kasi yung iba, anecdotally yung kwento sa akin, yung iba, nagho-hotel pa talaga sila the night before, or alam mo yun, yung iba kasi feeling nila mas better talaga yung connection dun sa inuupahan nila na place versus them trying to do it at home. So, I don't know kung paano nyo siya didiskartehan, but yun yung number 1. Make sure na okay yung internet connection nyo. Be prepared. The second thing is be prepared to log in on time. So, very, very important to. Kasi, paunahan kayo talaga para mag-fill up ng form, to access the form. And so, a lot of times, what happens is, yung traffic dun sa website is just so great na minsan magta-try ka, hindi ka na makalogin. So, parang nagka-crash yung system. So, if matsyempohan mo yung the right time of applying, you'll be able to log in and then matutuloy mo yung application. What we've also noticed is that sometimes when they say that it's gonna open at a specific time, the form might be accessible a few minutes earlier. So it's really important na you guys are on time. You show up on time online. Final tip ko siguro for these online applications is make sure nagagana yung card na gagamitin nyo for the payment. So these are online applications. They get charged in NZD. So in some situations, yung mga Philippine debit cards, gumagana siya. Pero may mga bangko na hindi siya gumagana kasi foreign currency denominated yung transaction. So if hindi kayo sure, you might wanna check this with yung bank. Sometimes yung bank, you need to parang pre-authorize it so that they know na hindi siya fraud. But sometimes yung bank, hindi talaga siya kaya mag-process ng ganong klaseng transaction. If that's the case, you should probably figure out paano nyo gagawin. In my experience, kung credit card yung ginagamit, kahit Philippine-issued credit card siya, hindi talaga nagkaka-problem sa payment. So, if you don't have a credit card and you wanna be sure, baka meron kayong friend or family member willing to lend their credit card for this, just have them on standby for the day na magla-launch kayo in case yun yung gagamitin yung mode of payment. Okay, FAQ time. First question, meron bang nade-decline ng working holiday visa? Kasi parang sobrang simple yung requirements, di ba? Short answer is yes. Ang pinaka-frequent kong nakitang issue when I used to process these as part of Immigration New Zealand is mali yung understanding ng mga tao dun sa qualification requirements. Yung iba nag-a-apply sila nang hindi sila tertiary graduate. So, yun yung pinaka-common na reason kung bakit nade-decline. There might be instances na kunwari hindi nagpasa ng evidence of funds, ganyan. Those might be yung parang that might be the number 2 reason kung bakit nade-decline yung working holiday visa. So, what that actually means is pag may na-decline, the slot reopens. So, if you try every now and then, alam mo yun, malas naman nung nawala ng slot, pero sometimes may nag-open na bagong slot. The next question is, can I apply if I'm a Filipino in New Zealand? Oo, pwede siyang application from onshore. The next question is, do I need to travel immediately? So, ang tanong kasi na to is like, kunwari March 12, tapos, let's say, natapos yung application process by April, nag-grantan ka, kailangan ko na ba mag-travel agad? The answer is no. Kasi ang working holiday visa, pagka na-issue siya habang nasa labas ka ng New Zealand, meron kang 12 months para gamitin. And then, let's say nag-travel ka later in the year, pagpalagay na natin na November ka nag-travel. Kasi may work ka, you have to put your affairs in order. Ang mangyayari nun is, bibigyan ka ng further stay ng 12 months mula dun sa unang pasok mo. So, hindi ka kailangan agad-agad umalis. You can plan your holiday and then ma-maximize mo yung 1 year that the visa allows you to stay in New Zealand. Great. Next question is on age limits. Lagpas na ako ng age limit after nung deadline. So, March 16, mag-age na siya. Will I still qualify? So, generally, ang kino-consider ni INZ is yung age mo at the time of the application. So, it's possible. It's possible if abot ka pa talaga within the age nung time na nag-apply ka. Next question. Pwede bang mag-transition from this type of visa, so from working holiday to another type of visa while in New Zealand? Pwede. When you get a working holiday visa, wala siyang anything that restricts you from applying for further visas while in New Zealand. So, the key thing there, dun sa pag-transition mo sa ibang klaseng visa is kailangan ma-meet mo yung requirements nung sunod na i-apply mo. So, let's say, for example, you travel on a working holiday visa and then nag-qualify ka na for residence, why not mag-apply ka na ng residence? Pwede yun. Let's say, for example, nagbabakasyon ka at na-in-love ka, nakita mo yung love of your life mo doon. Tapos, pwedeng i-support yung partnership application mo. Pwede rin mangyari yun. We do have some people na parang, lalo na if you're in some internet groups, parang sinasabi nila na medyo malabo, na you get an accredited employer work visa, ganyan. Really depends on your situation. The last time I was in New Zealand, I met with a bunch of friends, and karamihan noon actually yung medyo na-surprise ako realizing na puro working holiday visa yung ginamit nila para makarating na New Zealand. And they were all like residents and citizens when we caught up. Pero point is, use the working holiday visa for what it is, di ba? Na hindi naman siya guarantee na makakakuha ka ng employment, but it does remove a big barrier. Kasi madalas, employers, especially in certain types of industries, no, they'll just be a lot more receptive to hiring you pag meron ka ng work rights. So, if you can use that time, yung 3 months mo with them, very wisely, na you can show na you really add value to yung business nila, then, syempre, mas inclined sila to help you out for you to stay longer term with them. So, in some cases, that might mean na they go through yung accredited employer na route. And sometimes it might be a willingness to support residents. But whatever the case may be, I guess important lang to be a bit optimistic about yung employment in New Zealand. But also to be a bit practical na don't expect talaga na agad-agad makakakuha ka ng job offer or na before you even travel just because you have a working holiday visa is, alam mo yun, parang nag-aagawan na sa'yo yung employer. But yeah, so I guess that wraps up our segment on working holiday visas. I really hope that you found this video helpful. I am wishing you the very best of luck dun sa inyong pag-a-apply kasi exciting talaga yung working holiday visa. Yeah. So yeah, I think that wraps up this episode of Ask an LIA, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!